Hello everyone. Last time in our deeper sessions on the visions of Zechariah, we laid some important foundations. We learned a bit about who Zechariah was and when he was prophesying. We also learned about how his ministry fitted into the bigger story of the Jewish people and their return from exile during the Second Temple period. After looking at some of that background, we also explored the first two visions, the myrtle trees and messengers, and the vision of the coming craftsman, some of the perhaps most difficult prophetic visions that we have in the entire Bible. But in them, we saw that God was giving Zechariah's audience a sort of glimpse behind the scenes of all the spiritual activity that was going on during what is sometimes called the Persian period. In the visions, Zechariah meets the Lord of hosts himself as a mysterious figure at the center of all these sort of heavenly communications that are going on. We also saw in the vision of the four craftsmen how Zechariah was looking forward from his immediate time to a future time when the kingdom of Yahud would become the kingdom of Judea under the Greeks, during which time period a great upheaval took place and the time of the Maccabees began. And what we discovered during that period is once again Jerusalem is at the very center of those unfolding events. In fact, Zechariah's third vision, in that vision, Zechariah sees a future and far off Jerusalem, a sort of eschatological vision as human history draws to a close. On the 9th of July, we're going to be looking at visions 4 and 5. These are perhaps the best known, well known of Zechariah's visions. Zechariah has a vision of the high priest Joshua, the first high priest of the Second Temple period. However, Zechariah also sees, sort of lurking in the background, Satan himself bringing accusation and condemnation. And there are some important messages here for us as believers about living free from that accusing voice and how we are called to press into God's firm purposes. After that, we'll be looking at the vision of the lampstand, perhaps one of the most important of all of Zechariah's visions. It conveys a message of covenant, the work of God throughout Jewish history and the coming of the Messiah as high priest and as king. So we've got a lot to engage with, a lot to learn, and we will begin to realize who this mysterious Lord of hosts actually is. And we see how God is working out in this incredible way his divine plan that will change the world, of course, and change our very lives. I hope you can make it. Please sign up in the normal way. If you want to get ahead, a little bit ahead on the night, then you can read Zechariah chapters 2 and 3. And don't forget, there will be pizza. So God bless you and see you soon. Take care.